Okay, so all right. So this is my point. Why do you think that Horry doesn't get the credit for winning as much? Just because you guys don't feel that he was important?
Do you think Horry is as good as Hakeem or Michael Jordan?
To me, I just wanted to put it the way I would do it. I don't
No, no,
care
no, no, no.
good
That would
enough.
no. That's a question. That's a question. Do you
Okay.
if I was
King.
no, hold on.
I would take
Hold on. If
okay.
I ask you to give me the top 25 players that you've ever seen play, would Robert Horry make the cut?
Ooh, or the top 25, dog, because that's a lot of people, though. That's not even fair. You know, that's not fair. Come on.
I'm asking. Oh, okay. I expand it because I'm gonna tell you why this is easy. The NBA already did this, so let's take the top 75. If I was Robert Horry in the top 75?
I'm not sure. I don't
no.
think so.
The answer is no. The answer is no. Want to know why? Because he's not one of the top 75 players that we've ever seen play. Nor was he the team leader on any of those championship teams. Not one of them.
I get that, but
I don't think you get it though. I don't think you get it though. So he won 2 with the Rockets. Hakeem Olajuwon was the best player on the first ring. The second best player may have been Maxwell. Vernon Maxwell, the third.
So being the best player is the thing though.
It has. Hold on. It has to be. If you're a manager of a store and your store, hold on. If you're a manager, if you're, of course it is the best player and the co-star. That's as far as it go. As far as credit, like if you're a role player,
why people on the team?
Huh?
So if you was on the basketball team and you wasn't the co-star or the star, you are null and void.
No, not null and void. What I'm saying is, if you're talking about who the greatest players are, and you want to use winning a ring as an accolade, you're not going to do a ring count and then all of a sudden say Robert Horry is in the conversation with Jordan and Hakeem because he was able to jump from team to team and play with Shaq, Hakeem, Kobe, Drexler. Like what kind of sense? Tim Duncan, David Robb. What kind of sense? Hold on. What kind of sense does that make? Where if I just end up on the right team, like Steve Kerr, I think he got 3 with the Bulls and 2 with San Antonio, so he's got 5. Are we now saying that he's one of the best point guards we ever seen play? Come on, man, this don't even make sense.
No, so that's what I've said. So
all right, so a ring count. No, a ring count don't change my mind on how good you are. How good you are is how good you are, and or it's not in the conversation. So his rings don't even get counted in a who's the greatest of all time. But if I'm saying the best players I ever seen play is Michael Jordan and Kobe, and then I start saying, well, which one would you rank higher? Then you start counting their rings. But Horry's never in that conversation of the best we've ever seen play, so we're never going to count his rings for that reason.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not even asking about who the best that ever play. I'm talking about winning.
What about it?
What do you mean? What about it? That's my argument. He's won.
Yeah. So what?
That's my point.
You said it to say what?
So, but you said that what's more important?
No. I'm saying you said it to say what though? You said it to say what? Robert Horry got 7 rings. That's a fact. Now, what does that mean?
Why has he not ever been brought up in any discussions?
And what discussion?
And he's more of a winner than the guys that you talk
about.
And
what discussion?
That you like.
And what?
That's more important.
And what discussion?
And winning championships.
I've never had a discussion of winning championships. What discussion are you talking about? This discussion of winning championships?
A winning championship discussion, though. Why is that?
We've never. That's for what? Why would we have? That's easy.
Why wouldn't you have a championship discussion in the game that they played to win the championship?
Dude, what are you talking about? So you want to have a conversation of winning championships?
Never have a discussion about
because it's not a discussion. It's only you only counting rings at that point. So you count all the.
You act like that's a disease or bad or something. What's wrong with counting rings? That's what you're supposed to do, right?
It's pointless.
Or not?
It's no, it's
counting
pointless.
The rings is pointless.
For what purpose though? Why are we counting the rings? To say what?
To prove who's winning rings. That's the purpose.
But it's not a discussion though. It's obvious,
I get it. Okay.
right? You go to the Boston Celtics and you count all the rings that they won, and then you go to Horry, and then you go to whoever else and Steve Kerr. Like, why the hell would I be talking about them? They're not like, they don't even make sense, dude. What are you talking about?
So you don't talk about them because of what? For what reason?
Because they're not that good. What they dude? What are you not getting?
You don't talk about them because they're good.
No, they're not that good. They're not as good as the people we had discussions about.
So Horry's not good.
He's not as good. He's not as good as Kobe, Jordan, Hakeem, Duncan, Shaq.
But that's not the discussion, though. If he's better than those guys, he's won more than those guys.
All right. Okay. So what does that mean? Okay. He won
that
7.
All right.
So let's have a conversation. Robert Horry had 7 rings. Kobe had 5. What does that mean?
Right.
What does that mean?
That Robbie Horry got 7 rings and Kobe's got 5. That's what that means.
End of discussion. You see how easy that was?
Thank you.
All right, end of discussion. Like, dude, what are you talking about?
That's what. Hey, that's right.
We needed a discussion for that. All right, man.
I was wondering why that is not that easy. I mean, usually you guys don't even get to that point like that. Like how we got to it tonight.
Because I told you his point. I told you his point, bro. You on that new dust, and I hate that I stayed this long on the phone, man. But thank you. I bid you a good night.
Good night.
Yeah. Sure. Caller from Texas was good, man.
You know, daggone, I told you. Do not. What I tell you? Huh? What I tell you?
Yo, who was that, man?
Do not negotiate with terrorists.
Yo, who was that, dog? Who was that, man? For real?
Man, somebody need to call over to San Francisco and find somebody's child is out underneath the street light, waiting to get picked up for school.
He was on that new dust, man. That is that new dust for real.
Hey, but here's the thing. You gotta take responsibility for your part in that. You know, you were trying to have a logical conversation with somebody whose brain is broke. Right? This dude is clearly disabled. Okay? The dude was clearly disabled. He trying to talk about have a discussion when all you gotta do is count. Why are we gonna have a conversation about
just got
counting?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We got you say Bill Russell got 11.
Yeah.
Okay. Sam Jones got like what, 9?
Something like that. Yeah.
And same thing with Casey Jones, right?
Yep.
So what are we talking about?
Yeah. I mean, what
have a check?
What's the purpose?
Talking about?
Well, what is the purpose? What point are you trying to make?
Why are we having a conversation about math?
No.
Right? And not hard math, just counting. All we gotta do is count.
Come on, dog.
Right? I'm disappointed in you, Mel. You should stop this, man. Hey. You exposing the community to this stuff, man. It's like a virus you almost let loose.
Yo, I was
like,
wait.
Trying to do.
Yeah.
But the point, like he was trying to have a point about something that was not have. There was no point to have.
No.
How you gonna have? Why don't you have a conversation about Robert Horry? That right there should have been your thing, man. You should be like, okay, all right. This dude is on, like you said, he on that new dust.
Yeah, he was on something.
He on that new. He doing something that got him howling at the moon.
Yeah,
and he somehow butt dialed man down because that was crazy.
It was. What you got on this OKC, and either speak on Jokic or SGA, either one.
Well, for me, like you were saying, the thing about SGA, I don't really want to talk about Jokic because anybody who only plays half of the game and is straight ass on defense, I really ain't got much in the way of like we don't need to talk about that. But with SGA, like with him, and like you said, because you hit with this dude you're just talking about. Boston messed up when they went away from what Udoka got them doing. See, Udoka was the guy having them playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
If you really go back and look at it, Udoka was the one who had them playing basketball.
Yep.
Right. And then they I don't know, smelling themselves or whatever. but they want to start shooting these threes. And I agree with you totally when it comes to Anthony Edwards. Same thing. That he, for some reason, will sit back and fall off on taking the three instead of being aggressive and attacking the basket.
Yeah.
And when that's the thing that drives me crazy about OKC is they'll get to where they're starting to play, but then they'll fall off and they'll fall into these lulls of getting away from what got them there.
Yeah. But
because game six shouldn't happen the way it happened.
But what I like about OKC is when they fall into something like that, they always autocorrect. Sometimes they autocorrect in game, like when they went down against Memphis by like 30 and came back and won. Sometimes
I agree, but see, game one, game one was what? Playing with your food.
They played
Same
with
thing,
it.
game
six. Yeah, for sure.
Right? Game six, they let it, and that was the thing. I'm like, hold on, bro. Look.
If they would have lost tonight,
their
game one would have their game one would have been. I mean, they would have been thinking about that all summer. Of course, they'd be thinking about game 7 too, but game 1 and game 6, those are
the two games.
Yeah,
those are the two games that they, like you said, where they normally autocorrect or get because again, you can't play around with them. Denver ain't. I mean, they are not a joke. When they get those pieces moving, they are dangerous.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, and this is the thing you really got to look at. Porter was injured, and
so was Gordon.
Exactly, and Gordon too. Gordon had a hamstring. But I'm talking about for the whole series. Porter was, that left shoulder. But the point I'm making is, you can't play with you. Like, you can't afford in this day and age. You can't play with your food.
No.
But the idea of this dude up here talking about participation, all 5 players getting 25 points. Can you count? That's 125 points if you do that, right? I mean, you don't. the bench. Okay. Anybody who's watched this game long enough knows that the bench gets shortened in the playoffs.
Correct.
You got your starters, and then you go down maybe 9.
Yeah.
Maybe that in your rotation. If you're getting blown out, or you blowing somebody else, that's when you start getting people off, getting some people some time.
Yep.
But don't sit here and try to talk about, oh well, you're in now, so go out there and get your 25 points. It's your turn. Go get you only gonna get 2 minutes, but go get your 25 points. And I got a gold star you can put on the refrigerator later.
Yeah.
I'm blaming you, Mel. I'm sorry. You gotta take some responsibility.
I'll take the L. I'll take the L. Yeah.
All right, brother, man.
All right, thanks,
Have
man.
a good one.
Yep.
Yeah.